Another Jamaican has just unalived himself. He is not broke. He comes from uptown, Upper St. Andrew. This man here is he. Here is the house that he lived in. Him not living in a tattoo. Him not come from country and living in a whole country house or living at the ghetto. Look at his house. This is his house. This is James Todd's house. Nice mansion, uptown. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is his car. It's an Audi C5. Audi C5 car. This was not a broke man. Had nothing to do with money. All kind of people from all walks of life, rich and poor, because some people are make it look like say a hardship, like an economic hardship. And I keep telling you, it has nothing to do with money. It is not money. Most of the time, is not money. I'm going to tell you what it is. I am going to tell you what it is. But first, I'm going to show you James Todd, the gentleman, the Upper St. Andrew gentleman, with well-to-do parents. If he ain't scratch him, in parents can't fly him, go up Florida, go ask a doctor why he made a scratch him. Nothing to do with money. I'm going to show him now, and then I'm going to come back and explain to you all. I'm going to explain to you comprehensively. Explain to Jamaica and the world why people are so distressed. Why people in so much emotional upheaval. Why people are go to their mind. Why people are take their own at 3 points. Here is James Todd.
It is your boy James coming back at you with another video, and today I'm going to be doing a comparison video on the Streamlight Macro Stream and the Olight S2R Baton 2. Both of these flashlights are pretty good for around $50. One is 500 lumens max, one is 1150 lumens max, but they have different modes or rifle. Bear in mind that I did get these iron sights sent out to me for free, but I did tell the person sending them that I would only do an honest review for you guys. So I'm going to go over the pros and cons, the overview, the specs, all that good stuff for you. And at the end, I'm going to say, if it were my money, would I buy it again? Be sure to stick around till the end of the video because I'm going to be doing a giveaway. And you might miss the instructions on how to enter the giveaway.
It is not a money problem. Why James Todd went into his mother's room, hugged his father for about 10 minutes, hugged his mother, kept telling them how much he loves them. And when he was done, he went into the living room, put it to his head right here, and boom! And another Jamaican is gone, just like that. And one by one, we are either going out of our minds or unaliving ourselves. And, there is a prevention hotline, mental health and SUICIDE prevention hotline in Jamaica. And it is now inundated, flooded with calls. And I am going to read for you. What the Ministry of Health is now reporting, that them cannot manage. The university hospital cannot manage 50 50 new mad people at least every week are turn up at the university hospital. And a judge, well, that one they kind of fishy, but the judge in Trelawney has been accused of doing the same thing to herself, drinking poison. And the headline in the Jamaica Observer says, distress calls, prevention helpline recorded 500 appeals for help in September. And it says, the Ministry of Health's Mental Health and Suicide Prevention Helpline was in September flooded with hundreds of calls from Jamaicans in distress. Mean a whole heap of people are calling. Whole heap of Jamaicans are calling. Oh, they don't know if they do it themselves. They want to analyze themselves. What that it mean? And it says, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said, for that month alone, there were 500 calls to the facility, which provides 24/7 free and confidential support and information by phone. He said individuals who called were counseled or referred depending on the circumstances. What is happening now with these people? These people are treating the symptoms of the problem rather than going to the root causes of the problem. And that's the problem. You don't realize, see how the root cause of your address. I want all of you now to open up your ears and listen to 119 keenly. I am doing this as a public service to Jamaicans, rich and poor. I am doing this as a public service to the government of Jamaica. I am doing this as a public service to the world. So listen to 119 and let me break it down for you, Wagwan. Let me break it down for you. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what the problem is, and this is what should be addressed. We were born in this world. We came up in this world with a history that men and women were created by God and by nature to be together. When a man and a woman comes together, makes a family, they find happiness. They find a purpose for living. They find fulfillment. They find joy and contentment. And yes, men and women who are intimately involved have their ups and downs. But they find substance. And if one relationship is not working, you go on and you find another relationship easily. Quick. Women were available and men were available. Women were feminine. Women knew their places. They acted like women. And so it was easy for a man to find another woman if one relationship is not working. And he could fall in love with another woman easily. That is how it was. And that is our main purpose on earth. To find a partner, reproduce, have children, find contentment, and emotional support, and a purpose for living. They took all that away, starting in the 1970s, with a thing called feminism that has mashed up the world completely. It is an experiment. It is a grand experiment that cannot work, because prior to feminism, men were men, women were women, we could easily find each other, fall in love, make families, have babies, and created a purpose to live. Feminism came along and said the woman should be equal to the man, and the woman should be empowered and independent and liberated, so that she now began to compete with the man. She now began to stand up to the man. She now became masculine. And she was no longer a candidate for substantial living, for families, for having babies, for emotional support, because until we say, hold up your stress, no come to me, come tell me your problem. Not even that, she's there for now. And I want you to understand one thing. Men have not changed since creation. Nothing about the man has changed. We keep on doing what we were always doing. It is the woman who has changed. And because the woman has changed, the man cannot find love. The man cannot find emotional support. The man cannot find substance and the purpose for living. Our primary purpose for living has been taken away from us because the man and woman cannot come together again. The woman cannot find love. The woman cannot find purpose. And so both men and women are now walking around empty, like empty shells, zombies, because we have been robbed of our primary purpose for living. And that is the reason why people are living empty lives and going out of their minds. It all goes back to one thing. Feminism mashed we up. Feminism mashed we up. When men and women were coming together and making families, having babies and finding love and emotional support in each other. We didn't have this problem. We didn't have this problem. 119